What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Subscriber Sunday. I just want to say a big thank you to everybody who sent in their messages, questions and fan art this week. It really is appreciated. But guys, let's get started and let's get straight into this week's fan art. Right guys, this week's fan art comes from Kevin on Twitter, and he drew my Minecraft character and he put Biggs87X at the bottom. Fun fact about this week's fan art, guys, he actually drew my new Minecraft skin. It's not that new, I've had it for quite a while now, but this is the first piece of fan art that actually has like the snapback on with the sunglasses and stuff, and it looks really cool. I'm not sure how you drew it, but it looks really awesome. I really like it, Kevin, so thank you so much for sending that in. Right guys, so moving on to this week's question. Now the first question comes from, I'm sorry if I get your name wrong because I don't really know how to pronounce this, but is it Iaditya? I think that's how I say it. But they ask, what is your favourite Overwatch player? Now this is a very hard question for me to answer because I play Overwatch a lot and there is a lot of characters in there that I like. So I thought the best way that I can answer this is give you my favourite character for each category, like support, attack, defense and stuff like that. So I would have to say my favourite attack character is Soldier 76. My favourite support is Lucio. My favourite tank is Reinhardt, and my favourite, I can't remember the last category, but it is Junkrat. They're probably my favourite. So I've got, oh, and Torbjorn. I like Torbjorn as well. So probably Soldier, Reinhardt. I have to add another one. So Soldier, Reinhardt, D.Va. What was the other? Oh, Lucio, Junkrat, and Torbjorn. They're the characters that I probably play with the most on Overwatch. I can't pick a favourite out of them. So the next question comes from Potato69, and they say, hi Biggs, number 1, what console do you use? I use a Xbox One. Number 2, what is your favourite Overwatch character? I just answered that in the last question. Number 3, what is your favourite Pokemon? Now my favourite Pokemon probably is between two. It is either Pikachu or Charizard. They are probably my two favourite Pokemon. I'm kind of a generation 1 Pokemon guy. I never really got into the later generations. I'm mainly just generation 1, and it's kind of generic, isn't it? Pikachu and Charizard, but I would say Pikachu because Pokemon Yellow was my first ever Pokemon game, and Charizard because that was when I used to watch the TV shows, that was my favourite one from the TV shows. But yeah, thank you so much for your question. So the next question comes from Yale Herrera, and they ask, hey Biggs, I've got 3 questions for you. What is your favourite type of animal? Number 2, what were you most scared of when you was a kid? And number 3, what are your favourite type of shoes? So number 1, I would have to say my favourite animal is a cat. That doesn't mean I don't like other animals, but cats are probably my favourite type of animals because I've had them my whole life. Like when I was first born, the first animal my dad got, and I was not even 1 year old, and my dad got a cat, and I've kind of grew up with cats my whole life. Number 2, what were you most scared of when you was a kid? Now this is quite a funny story, I guess. So when I was about 10 or 11, I used to play for a football team. Now in this football team, about once a year we used to go on football tournaments that were in different countries. Now one year we went on a football tournament that was in France. Now these football tournaments, they don't go on all day, they're just at certain times of the day, and during the day we have kind of like free time that we can go do whatever we want. Now one of the days that we were there, me and a few of the other players in the team, we went on a walk with like one of the coaches and stuff, and we were just looking around the local town in France, and there was this gate, and there was this dog inside of this gate, and this dog was going crazy. Like you couldn't go near the gate because the dog was just barking so loud. It was kind of like a pit bull or a staff if you're from England, if you know what that is. But this dog was going crazy, and because it was behind a gate, me and my friends, we kind of got a bit brave, thinking, oh, this dog can't get us, like it can't attack us, there's no way it can attack us. So the idiots that we are, we kind of kept going back to the gate, and like as you do, we was kind of like teasing the dog, like running past the gate, kind of like running to it and running away, because we knew the dog couldn't get us, and we just kept running past it and stuff like that, and just you could tell the dog was getting more and more angry, and we shouldn't have done this because it's stupid, and we were kind of messing with the dog, making it more angry. Now the more and more we did this, the dog was kind of like pushing its head through the gate, if you know what I mean, like trying to, I don't know if he was trying to bite us, but his head was like poking through the gate and he was barking. Now one of my friends ran past and we were on one side and he was on the other side, so he's running on our side, like he's running to us, and as he ran to us, the dog squeezed through the gate, and I promise you that was probably one of the scariest things that ever happened to me, because I thought that I was going to get eaten, because this dog was vicious. It was so vicious, but luckily back then I was so quick, like I was such a fast kid. I used to win all my sports day races at school, but the dog broke through, and as soon as that dog got through, we just ran, and it was so scary. But luckily we ran to this point where we could cross the road, like we literally just ran across the road, and the dog stopped. The dog didn't cross the road. I don't know why, like maybe the owner trained it not to cross roads or something like that, but the dog just stopped and we were safe after we crossed the road. But ever since that day when I was a kid, I was kind of scared of dogs. I'm not scared of dogs now because I have 2 dogs of my own, but it took me a while to get over that fear of dogs, because I honestly thought that I was going to get eaten that day. I really did. And number 3, what was your favourite type of shoes? I have to say trainers, or tennis shoes, like trainers. They are my favourite type of shoes. I wear them all the time. Like, it doesn't matter. It could be white ones, black ones. I wear them all the time. They are my favourite type of shoes. The next question comes from Man Brother Films, and they ask, hey Ricky, as a child, what was your dream job? Now, it's the easy question. Growing up, all I wanted to do was become a professional football player. That is all I wanted to do. When I say football, I mean soccer for everybody in America, but in England we call it football. But that's all I wanted to do. I've played football since I was like 10 years old. I played for my first team. Like I just told you in the last question, when we used to go to tournaments and stuff. Yeah, it's all I've ever wanted to do. When I was a kid, that was my dream job, and I tried my hardest to get there, but I didn't get there. But yeah, that was my dream job when I was a kid. And the last question, guys, comes from Diamond Creeper 101, and they ask, I have a few questions for you. Number 1, what kind of phone do you have? Number 2, what kind of computer do you have? And number 3, if you are bored in England, what do you and Zai do? So, number 1, what kind of phone do I have? I have a Samsung S5 at the moment. I'm actually due to get an upgrade soon, so I'm not actually sure what phone I'm going to get. I might get an iPhone, might get another Samsung. I'm not 100% sure just yet. I've been looking at different types of phones, like Nexus or something like that. But right now, I have a Samsung S5. Number 2, what kind of computer do you have? That's kind of hard to describe because it's loads of different parts like combined together, but if I was to go over it quickly, I have an i5 2500K. I have a 2 gig hard drive. I have a GTX 680, but that's pretty much all you really need to know. All the other things, and I have 16 gig of RAM. So 16 gig of RAM, i5, and a 680. That is what I have at the moment. And number 3, if you are bored in England, what do you and Zai do? Usually when we're bored, we usually just go out to like restaurants, or we go to a mall or shopping centre and go shopping. And yeah, that's usually what we do. Or go to the movies, go to the cinema. That's what we usually do when we're bored. Right guys, so let's move on to the Snapchats.
How old do you have to be to join Chaos Craft, and what are your 3 favorite Pokemon? Follow me on Twitter, and here's the information below.
Thank you so much for sending your Snapchat, TNT Rampage. Now, to get on Chaos Craft, you don't have to be a certain age. There's no age limit. We kind of just decide on the kind of application that what comes in and the type of videos that people have on their channel and stuff like that. There's no kind of set guidelines. We just kind of decide as a group who we believe will be a good fit for the server, and that's probably the best way I can describe it. Like, I get asked this question a lot, what kind of requirements are there, and there really isn't. We don't usually say like you have to be this, you have to be that, you have to be this. We make exceptions for everything, so I can't really answer that question other than like as a group we decide who we feel like will fit best on the server. And my 3 favourite Pokemon, I did answer this a little bit earlier, but it'd have to be Pikachu, Charizard and Mewtwo. They're my 3 favourite Pokemon. But guys, there we go. That is all we have for this week's Sub Sunday. For those of you that are wondering why we didn't have many Snapchats this week, I got a lot of questions that were the same, guys. A lot of the YouTube questions and a lot of the Snapchat questions were the same questions. Like 3 or 4 people asked me what kind of phone that I had. 3 or 4 people asked me about Pokemon, and there was another one as well, I can't remember, but I got a lot of the same questions, so that's why we didn't have many Snapchat videos this week. But don't forget to send me in your Snapchats, guys. The link will be in the description. Well, my Snapchat will be in the description, so just send me your messages and then you're likely to get featured in next week's Sub Sunday. But guys, thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in another episode of Subscriber Sunday.